Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, the world has not become a safer place for all of us throughout this year. It is difficult to find any region in the world which is not destabilized or impacted by tensions in the neighborhood. 2 out of the 4 international borders of Armenia, including the one with Turkey, have been closed for almost 3 decades. By refusing to establish diplomatic relations with Armenia, overtly assisting Azerbaijan against Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh, Turkey remains a serious security threat to Armenia and the Armenian people, who had experienced the deep tragedy of the genocide and continue to face the fierce denial of truth and justice. Mr. President, the various degree of tension existing in the relations among our neighbors and strategic partners put us in a very challenging conditions. Russia is our key strategic partner and ally. Georgia and Iran are our strategic neighbors. We have a strategically significant agenda and partnership with the United States, the European Union, and its member states. We observe with concern sets of disagreements among our friends, strategic partners, and allies. These realities put significant challenges to us because we face a persistent risk of not being correctly understood by some of our friends, or even worse, by all of them. We are doing our best to remain a reliable partner and a good friend for all of them without damaging our relations with any of them, without promoting relations with one partner at the expense of the other. We will continue to invest every effort in making our region's geopolitical environment safer. Ladies and gentlemen, the peaceful settlement of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict is of crucial importance for the stability and security of our region. Since my very first day in office, I have been taking steps in this very context. With this end in view, I publicly stated that any solution of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict must be acceptable for the people of Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and Azerbaijan. It is noteworthy that I was first Armenian leader to voice such position about the settlement of the conflict. I was heavily criticized in my country for such a formula of solution which places the 3 parties of conflict on an equal footing. Nevertheless, I strongly believe that this is the only way to the peaceful and lasting settlement of the conflict, because it offers a possibility of compromise, mutual respect, and balance. I introduced this formula not only publicly, but also within the negotiations under the auspices of the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairmanship. In order to move forward, I expected similar statement from Azerbaijan. However, the highest authorities of Azerbaijan remain on their position, which aims at a solution of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict acceptable only for the people of Azerbaijan. What does it mean in reality? It means that the Azerbaijani authorities do not have any intention to solve this conflict. Instead, they want to defeat the people of Nagorno-Karabakh. They don't want to seek any compromise. What they aim at is a revenge for the unsuccessful attempted aggressions against the people of Nagorno-Karabakh in 1990s and in 2016. This is why they are inflaming anti-Armenian sentiments among their people. This is why they are spreading enormous resources on armament. This is why the anti-Armenian hate speech has become official policy in Azerbaijan. In fact, the Azerbaijani authorities want to bring back the Soviet time status of Nagorno-Karabakh, but it is a futile effort because the people of Soviet-era Nagorno-Karabakh autonomous region declared their independence and exercised self-determination as did Azerbaijan, seceding from Soviet Union. This position of Azerbaijan is tantamount of claiming restoration of Soviet Union. Azerbaijani government presents the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict as a territorial dispute between Armenia and Azerbaijan. We totally disagree with such an interpretation of the conflict. It is not a dispute between Armenia and Azerbaijan. This dispute is not about territorial claims. It is about people, about real men and women, and their right to live in their homeland in the way that their ancestors lived over many centuries. Unfortunately, Azerbaijani authorities do not want to talk to these people and negotiate with them because they want to have the territories but not the people. To be more precise, territories without the people. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very important to explain the reason why I am referring to this part of the story. Do you think I want to contribute to the tension in our region? Of course not. On the contrary, I want to make it clear that the conflict of Nagorno-Karabakh is a very complicated and very painful issue for the peoples of the region, that it is impossible to settle it without hard and consistent work, without a compromise, mutual respect, and balance. Therefore, I want to invite my Azerbaijani counterpart, President Ilham Aliyev, to accept the formula that will create conditions for a breakthrough in the peace process. Any solution to the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict must be acceptable for the people of Armenia, the people of Nagorno-Karabakh, and the people of Azerbaijan. We need to work together to translate this formula into reality. Ladies and gentlemen, a few days ago, we celebrated Armenians' Independence Day. 28 years ago, Armenia as a sovereign nation became a full member of the international community, regaining its place and role in the global arena. We are benefactors of international cooperation and contributors to its security, development, and human rights agenda. We place significant importance to effective multilateralism. We work with all our partners, both at international and regional levels, to advance global security, fight against international terrorism, non-proliferation, nuclear security, and peacekeeping operation. Armenia participates in the international peacekeeping operations in Lebanon, Mali, Kosovo, and Afghanistan, and carries out a humanitarian mission in Syria, delivering medical assistance and humanitarian demining to the benefit of the civilian populations affected by crisis. The benefits of effective multilateralism reflect strongly in our global efforts to advance cooperation in the implementation of sustainable development goals. In Armenia, the process of the nationalization of SDGs complements the launch of the ambitious transformational national strategy for 2050, which involves 16 mega goals embracing all the SDGs. The priorities of advancing education, innovation, and smart development, inclusive and participatory political and economic environment underline the interlinkages between development and human rights. Further advancing the role of women and youth is of critical importance for Armenia. We will continue to focus on all these issues, both domestically and in our international agenda. Enhanced integration of economic and environmental policies is of high importance. Having registered a 1.3 degree Celsius average temperature increase, Armenia is already facing the negative impact of climate change. To address this global challenge, we have been working to develop an innovative climate finance mechanism, which is part of Armenia's national pledge for the Climate Action Summit of the Secretary General. Promoting sustainable development and human rights should be an inclusive process. It should be made accessible to everyone, regardless of political status or geographical location. No one should be left behind, including the people of Nagorno-Karabakh, who should have access to the same tools of sustainable development available for others. Nagorno-Karabakh should be able to benefit from international financial and technical assistance to strengthen human rights, eradicate poverty, improve education, respond to climate change, and build an inclusive society. Armenia, as a democratic country and a reliable member of the international community, will continue to make its contribution to the international cooperation to maintain global peace and security, to promote sustainable development, and to protect human rights and fundamental freedoms. We are committed to a constructive dialogue with all international partners to address common challenges and provide progress and prosperity for our nations. We are against dividing lines and the policy of confrontation. We are against closed borders, which are considered redundant and unacceptable in the 21st century, but still exist in our region. As a nation that has experienced the horrors of genocide in the past, we stand for promoting mutual understanding and peace in our volatile region. The policy of escalation and arms race based on elusive hopes for military superiority has no future in the South Caucasus. The people of our region deserve to live in peace and prosperity, freely exercise their human rights and freedoms, build brighter future for themselves and their children. Thank you for your attention.